This episode of the Football Crazy podcast is brought to you by the letter E, the only letter that looks like a game of hangman.
Is football crazy? Is football mad? That football had just taken away the little bit of sense he had. And it would take a dozen servants to wash his clothes and scrub, since Paul became a member of that terrible football club.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Football Crazy podcast. I am as always your host Jeffrey Gibson, and before I start this episode, I would like to say a massive welcome to our second subscriber. I do hope you enjoy what we have coming up in future episodes of this podcast, and thank you for your support. We have a great show for you today. We have a Premier League roundup, with our American Premier League expert Larry, and I will be previewing the EFL League One game between Crewe, Alexandra and Sunderland. But before all that, I would like to talk about a segment I want to introduce on this podcast. Basically, I want to open a discussion segment on this podcast, so if you have any football questions you want answered, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and we will try and answer them for you in future episodes. Anyway, here is Larry with another Premier League roundup. Over to you, Larry.
Thank you, Jeff. And here is this week's Premier League roundup. Watford, 0, Liverpool, 5. Aston Villa, 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers, 3. Leicester City, 4, Manchester United, 3. Manchester City, 2, Burnley, 0. Norwich City, 0, Brighton and Hove Albion, 0. Southampton, 1, Leeds United, 0. Brentford, 0, Chelsea, 1. Everton, 0, West Ham United, 1. Newcastle United, 2, Tottenham Hotspur, 3. And the result of the game between Arsenal and Crystal Palace will be featured on Saturday's episode. Now it's time for an updated Premier League table. Chelsea are top, on 19 points. In second are Liverpool, who have 18 points. Third are Manchester City, who have 17 points. And in fourth and the last Champions League place are Brighton and Hove Albion, who have 15 points. In fifth are Tottenham Hotspur, who also have 15 points, but are only behind Brighton on goal difference. Sixth are Manchester United, who have 14 points. And in seventh and the final European place are West Ham United, who also have 14 points but are only behind Manchester United on goal difference. Moving on to the bottom of the table, Norwich City are bottom on 2 points, Newcastle United are above them on 3 points, and in the third and final relegation place are Burnley, who have 3 points also. That's it for this Premier League roundup. I will be back soon with another Premier League roundup. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Larry. See you next time. Now it's time to preview the EFL League One game between Crewe, Alexandra and Sunderland, and going into this game, Sunderland are fourth in the league on 25 points, but they do have a game in hand on Wycombe Wanderers, who are in second, and 2 games in hand on Plymouth Argyle, who are top, and Crewe Alexandra are 23rd in the league on 8 points, and based on the starts both of these teams have made, I can only see a Sunderland win coming, and I don't mean to offend the Crewe fans listening, but I think it may also be a battering for your team in this game. But with that being said, there is still hope Crewe can win this one, because Sunderland were absolutely pathetic against Gillingham on Saturday, and to be honest, we were lucky to get the win, especially going down to 10 men, and Saturday's game makes me feel concerned, because I honestly don't think Lee Johnson is the right man to take us up, because he is too inconsistent, and that could cost us this season if we are not careful. So when it comes to predicting the final result, I think Sunderland is going to win this 1-3 or maybe 4-0. That brings to an end another episode of the Football Crazy podcast. I do hope you have enjoyed hearing what we have had to say, and if you did, please feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Anyway, thank you once again, stay safe and enjoy the match.
Is football crazy? Is football mad? That football had just taken away the little bit of sense he had. And it would take a dozen servants to wash his clothes and scrub, since Paul became a member of that terrible